Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Wales of Wall Street. Happy holidays to all of you out there. Guys, MultiVac, I haven't done a video for these guys for a week or so now. I'm trying to catch up with everything. Here we are, got a good week to get everything up to date with all the latest videos. So MultiVac, MTV on our radar in this video today. Nothing major project wise other than, of course, like the staking aspect that we always try and cover every video. 3.8 billion MTV have been staked now, which is absolutely incredible. A phenomenal amount of MTV staked there. Of course, I think 4 billion is the key top target. So very much flying through that, getting involved. I don't personally stake my MTV. I haven't got nowhere near enough really to justify putting it across. Hopefully, I can take advantage of some trade moves in the coming months for MTV and maybe just do that if there is some available still in the winter market. Otherwise, I'm more than happy to hold this phenomenal project. Of course, we had the intro video to MTV. If you haven't checked that out, go and do so. At the end of this one, we will leave a link. And we go into full detail of MultiVac, all its different areas and ecosystem. They've got a big focus really at the moment of NFTs. I think they're utilizing perhaps the NFT aspect to obviously incentivize people staking more. It was understandable. A lot of projects are doing that these days to try and entice people to do that. So it's understandable. But in terms of the project itself, obviously big things coming for 2022. I've been doing a great job on their roadmap so far this year. I think lots of things ticked off. I really wish though that they would do a little tick box exercise showing which ones they've done or not. But I know most of these have been relatively done already. But yeah, of course, the staking aspect is very important to the development of the ecosystem, like it is with any other project that we look at, and crypto in general, of course, and to build MultiVac to the level that it wants to do in terms of scalability and things, and it's going to need a lot of ammunition behind it. So fair play to those that have staked, because you are contributing to one of the absolute mega projects of the future, in my opinion. Let us know in the comments below if you're holding MultiVac or indeed staking, and have you managed to obtain any of the NFTs as a reward for doing so. Really interested to know which ones you've got. Don't need to know your full bags of MTV. Please do not try and distribute that information. It always leaves you as a target. I just want to know basic information, what prices you got in at MTV, what are your goals, what are your aspirations for this project moving forward. And let us know as well, I mean, the end of the year prediction is a bit easy to do kind of now, really. But certainly the end of the bull run, hopefully in a few months' time. Let us know what you think MTV will get to. And on that note, let's jump into the chart. We can have a quick rundown of where we are, where we have been, and where we want to get to, obviously. So right now, floating literally just above that 1 cent mark. What I really like about this chart right now, by the way, here's our green area here. We believe MTV can get to 27 cents in the next bull run. Coming up. Let us know what you think. I don't think that's going to be an immediate run up. It's obviously going to be gradual, but I think we can definitely try and achieve that just based on data and historic information of MTV that we've got, as well as some other indicators like the Fib tracing, etc. Pulling in all of those kind of different things, variables of the things going on in the world. We've got to bear in mind as well, I'm not sure if this is a Chinese company or not, but you've got to anticipate the festive periods that they have as well. It was like 2 to 4 weeks or so over there come February, I think. So, from a project development perspective, you may have a bit of a pause around that area, and then maybe, just maybe, March, April could be the sort of months that really tail up to be bull runs in a lot of projects, because a lot of projects are from those regions anyway. But just to have a think about external factors, not just that. Obviously, loads of things going on in the world. I'm not going to mention them here because they'll probably block me or something. But here we are with MTV, and of course, just to reiterate in the last video, that 72% reduction, look at that, from these top points here previously at around 2.9 cents, dragging it back down. We had the Bitcoin leverage failures and other market volatility bringing it down as well. That is really healthy, in my opinion, and that's very nice. It's happened maybe a bit quicker than I anticipated. I mean, that's October to pretty much the middle of December. So not a full 3 months, but I tend to think that cycles happen in that sort of 2-3 month period. We'll go into the RSIs in a bit more detail in a second to kind of confirm what we're talking about there. But for me, I'm really pleased with this because we've had the pull down. It's very much said, no thanks, we don't want to come any lower. And we've had a few rejections at this point. So we've had a nice little tail up here in the 18th, 19th of December, pulled it back down. It's rejected again at this area, just under 1 cent. And now it's pulling it back up. And look at that. It's very much on line with these macro fib retracement levels here. Let me just try and pull that up a bit so you can see a bit more detail. So 2 days in a row, hopefully today, we'll have another close. So I think that's 3 in a row actually of over 1 cent. Let's just have a look. Closed out. Literally, look at that. Closed at 0.010. Mental. So 3 days in a trot. If we can get stability there, I'm sure it'll try and pull us back to that 1 cent again. But if we can get stability of that over the next few days, and particularly as it's the festive period, some people might have got some money for Christmas. They might want to put it in the investments. I know I will be doing some myself in the coming days anyway. But for me, I think this is phenomenal. I think it's a phenomenal entry point. Obviously, yes, great to have got it down here and great to have got it even lower. I mean, I came into MTV quite late, as it were, as you guys know. I mean, I still made some great profits on this in such a short space of time. But I think we've only just started. And to be around this region is really, really interesting. I'm just going to pull up these indicators to kind of emphasize that a bit more as well. Let's just see if we've got any data down here too. So on the weekly, into a green. Very nice to see. Finally out of these overselling patterns on the MACD histogram here. And look at that. From that point on the 18th, I think. No, 17th December, sorry. It doesn't look much on the chart, but there's clear data here that we've gone into a bullish momentum on the MACD. So it's a complete switch over, which is fantastic to see. It's not dramatic. It's a very, very nice, equal kind of widened gap here. And I hope that continues. I don't expect it to go fully upwards like this, but certainly a nice wave pattern upwards would be extremely healthy for this project. I think it's one that people don't mess about with. I don't think you get pump and dumps. I think this is a legitimate, full-on, phenomenal project for the future, and I'm more than happy to spend the next couple of years accumulating in drops, in lower prices. I think anything, I'm not even joking here, but anything under 10 cents for the future of MTV is an absolute steal, in my opinion. And I'm sure beyond that, even 20 cents will be really good as well. But obviously, if you can buy them now at these kind of prices here, you'd be silly not to. And that's not financial advice, that's just my opinion and what I'm doing. As soon as I get the opportunity to, I try and accumulate MTV. I want to get into the hundreds of thousands of it. I think, I'm sure there's many out there that have millions of them because they bought them so early or have been accumulating for longer than I have. But that's the game, isn't it? Like, you believe in the project, and some have loads, some don't. There's some projects that some people have more of than, and some you have more of. So it's not a competition as such. It's more just like, I just want everyone to try and get involved, because I think there's big things coming for crypto obviously in the next few years, and blockchain and scalability projects like this. It's absolutely phenomenal. DAG as well, of course. So really pleased to see this. And other things as well. Obviously, like I said, a few days ago, we're doing great to get it snapped under that 1 cent mark, albeit it's not a gigantic difference between like 0.008 and 1 cent. But, it may make a difference to accumulate a few more thousand of MTVs each time. But being down at these levels is a brilliant kind of indicator. So on the 14-day, we're looking at like a 2-week one. So let's just say this was back in the beginning, I think. So 5th of December. So it's pretty much 2 weeks. And we've scaled up to 43. So there's plenty of room in the tank left for this. That's not for me to say like on the 14. Yeah, arguably you could have pretty much, very much nearly doubled your position. But for me, I'd be waiting certainly on a 14-day around maybe that 50, 60 mark to be taking profits if I was buying back here. But for argument's sake, in this kind of whole period, to be honest, we're talking about like 0.002 of a cent or something. So it's not really a big deal. But once the numbers here, I'm expecting this in a few weeks' time perhaps, or maybe a month. When that RSI on the 90 starts showing something like 70 and the 28-day starts showing above 70 and so is the 14-day. And the 14-day would usually probably be a bit higher, maybe like towards 80 or something. But certainly for me, on a 14-day, when it gets to about 70, I get really excited. I take my first positions out and then I take it categorically throughout that process. So maybe 70, 75, 85, 90 if it ever gets there. Sometimes it does get there, sometimes it shoots up. So you just got to be aware of these things and just be cautious of what's going on with their roadmap. Be cautious of what's going on in the market, especially with Bitcoin as well, and just the momentum and things. And you can really play it quite well. And we'll do that along the journey with you guys. I'll show you what I'm doing along the way, and it's been working so far in the couple of years that I've been doing it. So Like I said, it's not financial advice. I'm just here to try and help, or have people think about things in a different way perhaps. But for me right now, it's looking really promising. I'm expecting a bit of a tail off when we get to that sort of 90 day at 50, 55. Then maybe that's where we start retesting a lower region and then pulling it back up again. So we might have a small sort of wave pattern here. Similar maybe to the overselling aspect. We might see a similar mirror effect on the over purchasing as well. But that's what's going to be really exciting. I would really love to see something like this again, and then take us hopefully up to that sort of 5 cent mark. Who knows? But look what this is promising as well. So on the monthly and the 3 month is looking a lot healthier than it was in the last video. Sorry. So pulling that down to hopefully get to green within the next few weeks. Maybe that might take a month or so. 6 months and year to date. Well, the year to date and the year in general are looking absolutely phenomenal. Congratulations to those that have been holding it for a year, or certainly early this year. It's absolutely mental, isn't it? Can you imagine 4,300% up on your MTV portfolio? That would be incredible. For me, it's more around perhaps the 100, 120%. Take that any day. Any green is good for me. But I'm not stopped yet. I'm not doing anything with MTV for a few years. No chance, unless I start seeing some really good trade patterns in this bull run, and I'm comfortable to perhaps try and accumulate more on dips and things like that. And obviously in the winter market, if that ever does come, I will certainly be stacking up MTV like a madman. So guys, yeah, very much in a neutral perspective here on the technicals, which is very much what we're emphasizing here, is we're hitting that middle ground. That's what I mentioned about the 90 a day, and particularly the 28 day as well, coming towards that 50 mark. It's very much a balanced effect where people are going, what do we want to do here? The bears, the bulls are going to have a little battle for maybe a week or two, and then we're going to decide whether we drag back a bit and then put it up, or are we just going to go on a nice continuous waved momentum upwards. So that's where we are right now. I think that's where we're going to be in a few weeks' time, hopefully pressing that 2 cent mark. Maybe, I'm not saying by the end of December, that's quite far-fetched, but certainly towards that level, towards the end of January, I'm expecting us to be over that 2 cent mark. We'll have to see how that plays out, but let us know in the comments below what you think. But yeah, very much wrapping that up, guys. Got loads of videos to get to before I head off to the family's Christmas dinner. So guys, thanks very much. Merry Christmas to you all around the world, or whatever festive holiday that you celebrate. Doesn't matter, as long as you're having a great time, getting jolly and loving everyone that's around you. That's all that matters. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next MTV video next week. Bye bye.